Last year's Razr Plus was really close to finishing the day, and I'm excited about this one because it actually has a chance of completing the full day without running out. What are the main differences between last year's Razr Plus and this year's Razr Plus that make me think it's going to make it to the day? Besides the fact that last year's Razr Plus was really close to finishing a full day, this year they added a larger battery and it has the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. And as we know with new processors, aside from the increase in power, they also get an increase in efficiency. Of course, if you're using the max power of the processor, it's going to drain more battery than the previous years. But when you're using it in normal day-to-day, it should be more efficient. So with these two things, I really think this has a shot of making it. So let's get started with my day. First thing is that I woke up and I was pretty lazy, so I watched a few videos off the bat. Just in bed, watching some videos and relaxing. This was at 8 a.m., so basically the phone has to make it all the way to 11 to make it a full day. After watching YouTube for about an hour, I decided to finally get out of bed and eat some breakfast. I watched a few more videos while eating breakfast and then went for a walk afterward. Being able to use the front screen to control my music and reply to text quickly is just so convenient, and I feel like it's very secure in my hands. Plus, when I'm walking and it's in my pocket, I really can't tell that it's even there. It's so easy and convenient to use. And I think that's the main purpose of these phones, and could also be considered a minimalist type phone as well, depending on how you use it. And then I decided to head to the theaters because I really wanted to watch Deadpool and Wolverine. When I get there, I had some time to spare because I got there a little bit too early, and so I just ate some nachos and I drank a little bit of a soda while I waited. During that time, I had a good view of the outside through windows. I noticed that while I was taking the picture of the nachos and soda that you see here, on the screen, it looked like the background was completely blown out. But after the picture was taken, you can see that the photo did some great optimization, and you can even see the details on the outside. So it did a really good job of creating a good HDR photo and letting me see all the details all over the photo. With the video, it's a bit different because the phone just can't process the video as well as it does a photo. So the outside, even though it's not completely blown out, it is a bit blown out on the highlights. But it's still a pretty decent job considering that I could see some of the outside while I'm recording on the inside. And it was a pretty sunny day. I also recorded a little bit in the theater to test how well it does in the dark, and it keeps it a bit darker than I would like, but it still comes out pretty clear. So you can just boost it up a little bit, and with any phone really, in something this dark, you're gonna get some graininess. But it did a decent job, better than I expected. And I feel like this is one of the major parts where Motorola improved from last year to this year. And by the way, the movie was really good, and I would recommend it for anyone who likes these types of movies. After the movie, I decided to go for another small walk because I gotta walk off those nachos that I ate. So I took a bit of a walk again and went through the same process, listened to some music, took a few more photos, and this phone is just great overall. At this point, the battery is higher than I would expect it, so I'm kind of surprised, and I'm kind of expecting a bit of a dip at the end, kind of like how some phones do, but we'll get to that a little bit later. After that, I drove to my family's house to... Alright. After that, I drove to my family's house to spend some quality time and spend the rest of the day there. I feel like the drive on the highway is a good test for the phone's video stability because it tests the stability, but it's also a bit softer because of the car's suspension. So it's not gonna be too rough like if you're walking. The way I read this test is it's supposed to pass. It's supposed to have a good stable video. If it fails the stability in this scenario, then it's not gonna be able to handle much at all because walking is gonna create way more of a vibration than car suspension does. So it really should pass this pretty easily. And based on what I see, it did a good job. But yeah, at this point, I did some recording in 4K 60. I took quite a few pictures, and the battery is still kicking pretty good. It actually surprised me how high it is still. And still not gonna reveal it, I'll reveal it at the end. So when I got to my family's house, I watched some TV with them, ate some dinner, and I was also messing around with some new lenses that I got for my camera, so had some fun with that. And every time I take a picture with a mirrorless camera, even though mine is an entry-level one, it reminds me that phones still have some way to go. But as far as phones go, the Razr is looking pretty decent. So finally, I head back home, and it was a rough drive back. There was pretty much gridlock, so I was just pretty much fighting to get to that one lane from that was available on the highway. But, you know, got through it. Recorded some more 4K 60. I mean, I wasn't even taking it light. I wasn't even doing 1080p and I wasn't doing 4K 30. I was pretty much recording the whole time 4K 60. And I get back home and I still have, I mean, I'll tell you now, I still have around 31% when I get back home. So I get back home and I just watched more videos, and I had already finished everything that I had for the minimum tasks. I had listened to all the Spotify, I had watched Netflix, and I had watched YouTube. Plus, I had already taken all my pictures and videos. So at this point, I'm just watching videos as much as I can, and at 11:24, the phone reaches 20% with 6 hours and 45 minutes of screen on time. And if we look at the board, that's up there with the phones that have 5,000 milliamp hours or more. And also, I made sure that the phone was off of Wi-Fi. It was all on mobile data. And I know because the first time I ran the test, I forgot to turn off the Wi-Fi and the numbers were really high. So I'm like, okay, that just doesn't make sense. So the second time I ran it, I had already turned off Wi-Fi the day before, so there was no Wi-Fi whatsoever. And with 100% mobile data, this phone was lasting as much as the other two phones that I have on the top of the leaderboard. Maybe it's some crazy improvements in efficiency with the 8S generation. At this point though, I'm placing it up there because it did it twice in a row. And I'm gonna end the day at 19%. Let me know your thoughts on how the 2024 Razr Plus performed. And if you wanna see the comparison with the Z Flip 6, click here. And if you wanna see the review of the Razr Plus, click here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.